Hi.
Hi. Sometimes I honestly think maybe I should do without video. I know what I look like.
Oh, please. I look not the best today.
You look better than I do.
I don't know. I didn't take a shower.
They call me every damn morning, wake me up. We have jobs available. Please call Brenda at least today they didn't call me before 7.
hmm
But usually this is like 6:15 a.m. in the morning. She pressed the button for her automated system because she didn't get me on the phone. It gave me 6 phone calls, 6 texts, and 6 emails in the space of a minute and a half. Yeah, then I called her back and went, Brenda, what the hell? She said, oh, it's not supposed to do that. They need you to fix their system.
All right. Let me just open my scripts.
Okay.
Um,
So look what I got. It showed up yesterday.
The Artist Way? Great.
Yeah.
Just started reading it?
I haven't yet. I got it last night.
Oh, okay.
And I was so damn tired by the time I got home because we did a late interview over where he was doing his podcast. You probably would have laughed if you'd seen us. We're trying to do a show recording and interview, and the Indians are playing, and we're in a restaurant bar, and people are screaming and yelling, and we're like, guys, we're recording here. So finally, we went to do the interview. We can't do this here. We went and got in his van. He had the board on his lap, and we had the mics in our hands, and that's how we did the interview. And that was at she calls at 9:30. We were on at least for a half hour. Then I had to wait for him to pack up, lead me out to the freeway. So I didn't get home till 11:15. And then it turned out you just got home then too?
Well, yeah, I was out all day long. I was doing some jobs and taking measurements, and then I went to another place and then another place. And then I got home already exhausted because I was driving all day long,
Ah,
and today I was working on my one of the jobs because I got this job back in February, and my client, she's coming back from Italy, I think supposedly this Monday, but then she texted me yesterday. She said that possibly she's coming back on October 5th, and I thought to myself, okay, that's great. I have extra time to finish her job.
well, that's good.
Yeah. So, and I always sometimes I procrastinate. I just put it off, just knowing I'll do it. I'll
Yeah.
do it. I'll do it. And then all day long, I'm just like, oh my God, I have 4 chairs to upholster.
Oh no.
So far, I stripped down 1 chair, and I already prepare everything for upholstering, so it's done. So I have to strip it down completely because I have to change all stuffing totally.
Oh, really?
Yes, because it was just it's a I wouldn't say it's an antique chair. I think it's back from 1950s. It's considered antique already.
So the stuffing was bad?
Yeah, it started deteriorating.
Wow.
So kind of foam falling apart and everything. When I stripped it down, there was another layer of fabric, which apparently nobody stripped it down before upholstered the last time. And I thought, so this is disgusting because it's got moldy, and the foam is falling apart, just like becoming like sand. Just like I stripped down completely everything, and I finished it, I think, just like for 4 hours totally. 1 chair, and I was like,
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
that actually bad, I thought.
It sounds like me. It's 4 hours to edit a radio show.
Well, there.
Well, half the problem with this is that he records this stuff and it sounds great when we're listening to it when he's recording it. Then he gives it to me and I put it on my computer and it sounds like shit. So I end up going to YouTube, pulling every song and finding a better recording. I got lucky today because one of them I couldn't find for Jesus, and that was Baskerville Hound singing "Who Does She Love?" And I took the bass out of it, about a third of the bass, and now it sounds fine. But maybe that's what I need to do with this stuff. I don't know. It's enough to get. He goes, "It's the best recording. What can you heard it?" I said, "Yeah, on yours." If his computer is better than mine, or maybe it's because his is a Mac and mine's a PC. I don't know. But it's El Succarino. So I usually sit here and have to pull every piece I can pull and hope that if I can't, like when he plays these old film trailers and he doesn't say what they are and I can't find them, then I just have to boost him and hope to God people can deal with it for a minute and not start typing going, "What's wrong with your sound?" I don't even know. He played one. It was a Wolfman thing. Has the line that says, "But you don't understand. There's a curse on me. I turn into a werewolf." I can't find it for love of God. So I just said Wolfman trailer. No. They don't pay me enough. They don't pay me anything. I get gas money. That's it. And I sit here for hours and hours. But college radio doesn't even pay him, so I can't scream. Because if he doesn't get paid for his own show, at least he gives me gas money to get to and back because he lives on the other side of the city from me.
Well, kind of the same thing I have. I mean, I'm on the board of the theater. John and I are on the board of the theater, and we have to come up with something because lately, the last time we were supposed to have a season to do the show already in May, but of course, pandemic, we couldn't do anything. But because we're a nonprofit organization, they gave us grants. So we have to come up with some other ideas that we have to justify the money they gave us. So, and the whole responsibility I took just to put up all those streamings on Facebook. So, so far we did about like 9 shows. We did, for the past maybe 10 years. We choose the best ones, but I took care of all those media and social media stuff. So it was kind of a thing to do. So, and now we're doing a repeat now. So I just set up everything. I scheduled everything, and it's connected to YouTube because we have all shows uploaded on YouTube. So when the starts coming, it automatically changes from private to public. And then manually I go back like a week later and I turned off to private again. So because we have just a week of streaming. And then
You mean our classes?
No, not classes, our shows from the theater.
Oh.
Streaming, live streaming, as we say.
But it's not public. We can't watch.
No. Well, I did everything. Well, it's technically public, but to find out about when it's playing, it's better to find out on Facebook.
Okay.
So it's a Ryan Repertory Theater Company. Ryan Repertory Theater Company at Harry Warren Theater. You can find the page.
Ryan
Repertory Company at Harry Warren Theater.
Okay. Well, if this page ever comes up, I'll type it in. Jeez. I hate that Facebook insisted we had to change the look. I just got used to what it was. And it won't let you go back now, and it's supposed to let you go back until the 1st. Which really just burns me. All right, Ryan Repertory Theater. I hate this new look. I don't know where anything is. And every time they kept asking, "Well, are you changing it because you're missing something?" I'm like, no, I don't like it. If I wanted to change it, I'd change it. I don't think they're even listening. Ryan Repertory Theater at where?
At Harry Warren Theater.
Harry Warren.
Ryan Repertory Company at Harry Warren Theater.
Oh, okay. Ryan Repertory Company. Harry, I can spell, Warren. And is it Theater R-E? Okay, let's see what comes up. Haha! Da 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 da! Well, I'm following you now.
Good. So when you go to events, you'll see what we have left to play until the first week of October.
It's a baby.
Yeah, we have It's a Baby, and then Inconclusive Woman, then Another Woman's Baby, and then Harry Warren, introducing Harry Warren, the Tin Pan Alley Years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I will watch. That's cool.
Yeah, and the musical, by the way, that the Harry Warren, introducing Harry Warren, I'm in it and John in it.
Ah.
We did it 10 years ago.
It's just called It's Harry Warren?
Introducing Harry Warren, the Tin Pan Alley Years.
Introducing Harry Warren. Let me write the name down so I can look for that. I want to watch you guys in action. Introducing Harry Warren.
It's we're very close friends with the do you know Harry Warren, right?
No, actually I don't. Who is he?
It's a Hollywood composer who wrote the song very famous At Last.
Oh,
And
wait,
for, and,
what's the name recorded?
And 42nd Street, the musical. So
that I know.
So he mostly worked in Hollywood, though he didn't really. He wanted to write more for Brooklyn, for Broadway, but it didn't happen. So he wrote just one musical. But he worked with a lot of Hollywood actors and stars, particularly with Fred Astaire closely. And yeah, so we're very close with his granddaughter. We're friendly with her. So she wrote that. I mean, she didn't write the musical. She wrote the story, but she used Harry Warren's music in the musical.
Okay.
Because Harry Warren is not very much common name. I mean, like everybody knows the songs, but not everybody knows the name. And and she felt like she felt pissed off because it's never been out there very much. So she's been trying to to bring up all those songs because he wrote beautiful songs, I have to say, phenomenal.
Okay.
So
anyway. Where do I find the Introducing Harry Warren? I've got Magdalene, I've got Home No More, and It's a Baby.
Mm-hmm.
I Find Myself Here.
Yeah, that was already in the past. That's gone already.
And Then I Meowed.
Mm-hmm.
Be That Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Introducing Harry Warren, the Tin Pan Alley Years.
Yeah. If you open the event, you'll see the whole list of trailers there.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh cool. All right, I will go watch that. I can tell you how great you guys were in this thing.
Well, and John played the main character, Harry Warren.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way to get around these things. Start your own theater company. So we have kids say that, I want to start my own company. What's your advice? Don't do it. Is it why? Because it's not just, they don't think about budgets and bills and
Exactly.
royalties and crap like that. They don't think of the expenses. They just think of, I'm starting my own theater company, get on stage and do what I want.
Not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly we've done shows like worked with with artists, who wants to do something of their own. So we didn't pay any royalties. We just, allowed these artists to do their own stuff on our stage, on our theater.
Would you do the last 5 years with me if I help pay for the royalties?
I don't know. I guess so. I have to talk to John. I guess.
I do it on Zoom. I just want to do it, and I can't get anybody to do it with me. And I can't find people in the Mercury Theater Company because if they cast them any younger, we'd be heating up formula.
Mhm.
And that doesn't exactly look so great next to me. I need to find a Jamie who's not 21. Or at least doesn't look like he's 21.
Mhm.
Because I think, honestly, I know that's the character's ages. But people are stupid at any age. If you change about 12 words, you can do it at almost any age.
Exactly. A
Yeah,
story is just a story.
exactly. And it's like, the lines are like, got all this and more before 24. Okay, got all this and more before 34. It's just 28, the savior of writing. Just fucking great, the savior of writing. And that's what they did at Obama when they did it with two people that were in their 30s, like late 30s, and it was great. And I think as long as the two people look close enough in age, I don't think it's undoable. It's when you have like an 80-year-old and a 15-year-old, then it looks like you're doing John and Jen, you
Mhm.
know. But otherwise,
So
if either of you wants to sing and do that with me, I'm game.
okay, we'll see. All right. So let's do it. Do you want to do the shadow box first, and then we'll go back to.
Sure.
I didn't have any chance to look the video. Did you get the video I sent out? The last
I
one?
haven't looked at it yet, but
Yeah,
I did get it.
Me neither. I just like, okay, I'll try to
Yeah.
remember what he told us.
I remember him saying something about internalizing the frustration because it makes you, well, I forget how he put it. I just remember Mel saying something about getting chills, like one of the last times when I said, get yourself together, get yourself away from, because he had me do it like all internalized.
Mhm.
That I remember. Trying to remember, where is the line? Ta-da-da. There it is. And what did he say about you? He loved how you did the breakdown.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was really well done when you did that. And
Frankly, at some point I started feeling really emotional. I then said, where am I going with that? Just like I really felt on the verge of just like I'm going to really.
yeah, no, you did that really, really well.
Yeah, it just took me a while to get there, so I was kind of it felt like I was in the woods, searching for the right path, you know.
Mhm.
But what he said, I remember that you need to set up yourself. I need to set up myself already where where I am at the end of the scene. So the only thing I'm internalizing this, and then I'm bursting it.
Yeah. And I think he said something about starting off like more angry and frustrated and then just seeing where that leads you. Because I remember saying to him, if you start that high, do you have enough to go? Where can you go when you're up here already?
Mm-hmm.
But he said, no, you just see where that leads you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
in the past, excuse me, in the past, I've had teachers say, if you start that high, you have nowhere to grow. But
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
but that's not what he thinks. He apparently, you just go where that leads you.
Mm-hmm.
So far, that's worked. So I don't know.
John, are you having a meeting in a few minutes? Yeah. Do you want to take the computer, because I don't really want to interrupt you.
Hi, John.
Say it again. Do I want to?
Do you want to take computer out? You take.
No, I didn't want to. I'm still exercising.
Okay.
People are coming on. So.
All right. Okay. Just close the door. He didn't hear it because I have in my headphones. My speakers.
You want to let him do that, and then we can, or?
No, it's okay. I'm using it my own.
Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. He's resting.
He'll be all right.
How about you?
Better every minute.
Oh, you could fool me. Okay, okay, I'm going. You sure he's all right?
Of course, he's all right. It's just this dying business, Beverly. It gets a little messy every now and then.
I noticed.
Did you? Brian takes such pride in putting things in order, keeping things. Hold on for a second. Hold on.
Hey, Barbara, I'm just gonna fix the shade behind me so that it's not so shiny.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That
It's-
sounded like Ange. Or Ange.
No, it was somebody else's. John and I, we have the same office, and he's on the meeting now, but he's going to take his computer out of the room.
No, okay.
And somebody already plugged in, and I heard the voices, and I said I have to turn it off, the sound.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I thought that sounds like Ange. No.
Yeah. Let's from the top. Let's do it from
Yeah.
the top again.
Okay. He's resting.
He'll be all right.
How about you?
Better every minute.
Oh, you could fool me. Okay. Okay, I'm going. You sure he's all right?
Of course he is all right. It's just this dying business, Beverly. It gets a little messy every now and then.
I noticed.
Did you? Brian takes such pride in putting things in order, keeping things in their proper perspective. It's hard to tell. I mean, give him 10 minutes and a few thousand words, and he'll make you think dying is the best thing that ever happened to him. Would you like a drink?
No. Thank you.
It's all right. It's all right words for Brian. And it's a little hard to keep up. One little fellow's the next, one paragraph, one chapter, one book after another, close parenthesis, end of quote. Never mind. What's all about?
That's not fair.
Isn't it? The way you two have been carrying on, I was beginning to think I was at a wedding. I mean, I enjoy a good joke as much as the next fellow, but dead people are pretty low on my list of funny topics.
Oh, no, let's not get angry. We'll spoil your metaphor.
Oh, fuck the metaphor. It's true. My God, listen to me. You think you know something, you think you have something, and it all goes crazy. When I met Brian, I was hustling outside of the bar in San Francisco, right after the great Summer of Love. You remember the Summer of Love, one of those many American revolutions that get about as far as Time magazine and then fart to a quick finish. Well, just after the Summer of Love, winter came, which was the last thing anybody expected. And suddenly I got very cold. People were starving to death in the streets.
Oh, it sounds lovely.
How very colorful. Would love have liked it. Anyway, like anybody else, was very hungry, very desperate. The whole scene. So there, I was one night, like many other nights, selling it down on Market Street. I wasn't very good at it, but it was paying the rent. And Brian walks up to me. I didn't know him, of course. He walks up and asks me the time, right? Well, I did my little number about time for how much it was worth to him. I figured anybody who'd come to me with an old line like that was good for a fast 20. And all of a sudden, he starts explaining exactly what time was worth to him. philosophy on Market Street. And before I know it, he's onto concept of history, cyclical and lineal configurations, Hebraic and Greco-Roman attitudes, repetitive notions, time warps even. Jesus, I thought, I've got a real freak on my hands.
You did.
And he's talking and talking and talking, and I'm thinking, I've got to score soon because it's getting late and I need the bread and I'm hungry, but I can get rid of him. I walk away and he walks away with me. I go inside the bar and he goes inside the bar. A real fuck bar. I figure this has to shake him, right? Mm-mm. Nothing. He didn't even notice it. People are humping on the table practically on his quote Aristotle to me and Whitehead and elaborating on St. Thomas Aquinas' definition of sin, completely oblivious to everything around him. I thought I was losing my mind. Finally, I said, look, man, I haven't eaten in a long time and I'm getting a headache. Why don't we talk some business before I starve to death?
What did he do?
He bought me a dinner. I couldn't believe it. I mean, what the hell did he want from me? And he never stopped talking. Never.
Perfect. And then he left.
Right.
He didn't want anything from you.
But before he went, I looked at his wallet.
I always warned him not to talk to strangers.
It doesn't matter because the next day I returned it. I don't know why. I just did. And that's how I got to know him. I got interested in what he was doing, which is, it turns out, was nothing, but he was doing it so well. He gave me a room. I could use it whenever I wanted. I started reading again. I thought to myself, my God, I could really do something. Salvation. We talked and talked endlessly. Words equals idea, equals action, equals change, equals time, equals freedom, equals, well, who knows? The point is, I don't know what the point is. What am I talking about?
Dead people.
Exactly. I mean, exactly.
Exactly what?
I mean, it's not enough. 10,000 pages of paragraph garbage. It's just words. We are dying here, lady. That's what it's about. Brian looks at me, and I can see it in his eyes. One stone slap smack in the face. The rock is coming out from under. The light is going out. You can do the pills, the syringes, the let's play games with the cotton swabs and X-ray, but it's not going to change it. You can wipe up the mucus and the blood and the piss and the excrement. You can burn the sheets and boil his clothes, but it's still there. You can smell it on him. You can smell it on me. It soaks into your hands when you touch him. It gets into your blood. It's stuck inside him, filling up inside his head, inside his skin, inside his mouth. You can taste it on him. You can swallow it and feel it inside your belly like a sewer. You wake up at night and you shake and you spit. You try to vomit it out of you, but you can't. It doesn't go away. It stays inside you. Inside every word, every touch, every move, every day, every night. It lies down with you and gets in between you. It's sick and putrid and soft and rotten, and it is killing me.
Well, it's killing him too.
That's right, lady. And some of us have to watch it. Some of us have to live with it and clean up after it. I mean, you can waltz in it and out of here like a fucking Christmas tree if you want to, but some of us are staying. Some of us are here for the duration, and it's not easy.
Some of us wouldn't mind changing places with you at all.
And some of us just don't care anymore.
What?
Some of us just don't fucking care.
Oh, you're cute, Mark. Next to me, you are the most selfish son of a bitch I have ever met.
Oh, wonderful. That's what I needed. Yes, sir. That's what's just I needed.
You're welcome.
Oh, look, don't you think it's time for you to pick up your little screw-in trophies and went home?
Past time. Way past time. Sign those up, I can see useless printed all over it. Let me tell you something is one whore to another. What you do with your ass is your business. You can run it, drag it through every gutter from here to Morocco. You can trade it, sell it, give it away. You can run it up a flagpole, paint it blue, cut it off if you feel like it. I don't care. I'll even show you the best way to do it because that's the kind of person I am. But Brian is different. Because Brian is stupid, because Brian is blind, because Brian doesn't know where you come from, or who you come from, or why, or how, or even what you are coming to, because Brian happens to need you. And if that is not enough for you, then you get yourself out of his life fast. You take your fears and your delicate sensibilities and your disgust, if that's what you feel, and you pack it up and you get out.
That's simple, huh?
Yeah, that's simple. A postcard for Christmas, a telegram for his birthday, maybe a phone call every few years, if he lives. Only when it gets really bad. When the money and the time and the people are all running out faster than you care to count, and the words just don't sound as good as they used to, and you can't remember anymore why you walked out on the one person who said, yes, you do what you have to because I love you. And you can't remember anymore what it was you thought you had to do, or who the hell you thought you were that was so goddamn important you couldn't hang around long enough to say goodbye or to find out what it was you were saying goodbye to. Then you phone because you need to know that somewhere, for no good reason, there's one poor, stupid, deluded human being who smells and rots and dies and still believes in you. One human being who cares. God, why isn't that ever enough?
You want an answer to that?
No, I want you to get yourself together or get yourself away from him.
Just leave.
Yes.
I can't.
Why not?
He's dying.
Well, he doesn't need you for that. He's a big boy. He can do it all by himself. You're young, intelligent. You're not bad looking. Probably good trade on the slow market. Why hang around?
I can't leave him.
Why not?
I owe him.
What, pity? I mean, you don't make sense, Mark. What's in this for you?
Nothing is enough for me.
You said it yourself. He's just a tired, sick old man.
I didn't say that.
A tired old trick with some phony ideas that don't hold piss, let alone water.
What?
A broken down sewer. That's what he is.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Garbage. Well, you don't need that. You don't need to dirty your hands with that kind of rotten, putrid filth. Less, of course, you need the money. So what does he do? Pay you by the month, or does it depend on how much you put out?
I don't want him to die. I don't want it, please. I don't want him to die.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Shh. Hopes, baby. That's what you got. Bad case of the hopes. They sneaked up on you when you weren't looking. Yeah, you think maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe you think maybe you'll find some way out, some word that's still alive, some word that will make it all different. Maybe. Please, baby, just one favor you owe him. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him with your hope. He needs somebody. Yeah. That was my answer too. Bye, baby.
Wait.
No. 2 more minutes, I'll be dancing you all over the floor.
I might not mind.
Might not mind? You'd love it.
All right. I love it.
Tell Brian goodbye for me.
Don't you want to see him?
No, I got a plane to catch. I want to get to Hawaii before the hangover hits me. You know, it's funny. He always makes the same mistake. He always cares about the wrong people. Bye. That felt pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yay. Then we got mad.
I could feel your energy as if like you were on the verge too. On the verge of breakdown.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think the whole thing, maybe that's where that whole babbling on about herself comes from. Maybe she is at that point. But yeah, right after that, when you want an answer to that, and I've never had that much of a blow up before. That felt really good.
That's what Bill was telling you about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a
Yeah.
blowing it, you know?
And you were really on the edge most the whole time, which felt really right. It gave me a lot to get crazy about, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think the angrier he gets makes her angrier. Or makes me angrier. I don't know. What do you think? Is there anything we can do better?
I'm just thinking that it's really hard to say because I don't remember how I started. Did you feel that, you know, the way I started, I kind of came to the same energy at the end, or?
I think there was more energy at the end this time. But how did you start? You started, to me, it sounds like aloofness to the point of, you know, not necessarily not caring, but it's like, it's part of that, you know, how you're shut down. And it more sounds like annoyance than anything else, which I think is part of what sets her off, or me off, because I'm there, like Bill says, to make sure if I'm not going to be here, that you're going to be there for the right reasons. And if you're coming off, you know, not aloof. What was the other word I used?
Oh.
I can't remember now. Well, it's on the recording.
Well, if you're curious, you know, I can send it to you so you can just take a look at what we just did, you know. I mean, after we finish.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Because it felt different. It felt much more internal than it had before.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just,
these guys in my hand.
Yeah, because I remember that when you just did that monologue, a while ago, like a few weeks ago, right? It was just different. This one is really plowing it intensively.
Yeah, I
Really,
think when
you're really here for the purpose to tell me something,
Mhm.
you know?
I think when I did it before, he was just saying, just talk to a person man to man. But it's not just that. It's, one whore to another. It's more like get yourself together, get the fuck out of here.
Hmm.
Is the underlying thing. And when you said fucking go home, I went, okay, fuck exercise. Think fuck exercise. And that got me angry,
Hmm.
which is what she is. But it doesn't come off like 2-1 notes since I start out angry, because I can't tell.
Hmm. Well, I think, where's that? I think that the part when I said, and some of us doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah, right after I said some of us wouldn't mind changing places with you at all. And then you say some of us just don't care anymore.
Hmm.
I think that's what sets her off more than anything, because that's when I say, you're the most selfish son of a bitch I've ever met next to me.
Well, that's the thing, because she does care. Otherwise, she could have been. She wouldn't even come to see him.
Right. But you're drunk by then.
Right.
So, the tongue's loose. And you've been pissed at her all evening because she walked in on your turf. So, some of us just don't give a shit. We just waltzing it out of here like a fucking Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but that's the thing, that even though, let's remember at some point we were talking about people dependent on what people's life is, how they were brought up, and would they drink out of sadness or out of fun? Because it seems like you would drink out of fun for yourself. That's just your personal fun, in a way that um, just, to sustain that being tipsy and being like, to take everything easier in a way.
Because I don't think she can deal with not taking things easy. That's why, he starts any explanation, she's gone. Yeah.
But I mean, like before, when she came already, she was already, she had been drinking, right?
Oh, yeah. She says, I had a little accident with the scotch on the way over. There's quite a dent in it.
Hmm.
I think she's like drunk half the bottle.
Right. And then when I asked her, would you like to have a drink? She said, no. And then at the end, I have to head out before a hangover hits me.
Oh, okay. See, I've always thought with that line, when he'd said, would you like a drink, that at least initially I was thinking one of us has to be in our right mind to have this conversation. But I don't think either of them are really in their right mind, because they're both way over on the edge at that point. So maybe you're right. Maybe it is more like, I've had enough. I don't need any more.
Yeah, because you know yourself pretty well. You know how much you can drink, and you know how much you can have a hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, you already know your plans. You need to fly to Hawaii and everything.
Yeah, before the hangover hits me.
So technically, it's your personal objective.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way we were talking already. There is another objective came up, that finally to tell him, pull yourself together. So you just use that momentum to tell me, and then you said, I gotta go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that she doesn't even want to say goodbye. That's kind of interesting, unless she can't handle anymore.
Or maybe she did.
Oh, when they were in the other room.
Yeah.
That could be. Yeah, because it never does really hint at anything that was said in the other room when she followed him in there.
Right, but I think it's already up to director how it would be staged in the stage, stage in the stage, and you know, like how they would show different parts of the stage. You know, when she is in the room with Brian and he is somewhere outside drinking. You know, it depends on those things. No, those
Well,
are
the
just
way the set was, you didn't see the back room. The who are the other ones? Okay, the Maggie, Joe, Steve thing takes place completely on the porch. The Beverly, Brian, Mark thing takes place only in the living room. And then the Felicity, Agnes is in the kitchen. And then when they talk to the interviewer, they're in a separate part of the stage in a chair.
mhm.
At least that's how they initially did it. But you can do it different ways, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember at one point in rehearsals when I was watching them, Jim Kosicki, who played Joe, he got up to walk away and he walked right through the living room, which because Joe is never in the living room. And Larry Tarrant, who directed it, laughed and he said, "I wish I had the guts to do that." But he didn't want anybody overlapping each other.
Hmm.
Part of the problem was that they had done this in like a thrust stage in Cleveland. I'm pretty sure that's the one it was. And then the Chautauqua stage was more like a proscenium.
Hmm.
So like, is the bench in the right place? Is the view the right way? And that was what was driving him more nuts than anything.
I love thrusts. I love this kind of stage. You can sit around the stage and see the actions under different angles. This is
Mhm.
just, I think, I think I always felt like, you know, that's the theater. I mean, proscenium, okay, that's fine. It's just a very traditional theater. But like amphitheater or thrust, that's just amazing because technically, uh, and I noticed, by the way, that theaters which has thrusts, they don't use a lot of sets at all, just really necessary props for plays. That's all. Usually just acting is happening on thrusts. That's what I've noted. This is my own personal observation.
Yeah,
That's what
is that what they did the Streetcar Named Desire thing that they streamed online? Was that a thrust stage?
it was a thrust stage, but they designed it in a way that you can see everything what was going on in the room, in the house.
Yeah,
You know, and that thrust was revolving.
that drove me kind of nuts because half the time I'm looking through a door frame. I'm like, if I wanted to do that, I'd sit in the theater. You show me the faces, you know? That did kind of make me nuts. Once, twice, but it just kept moving. And I'm like, what in the Sam hell? That and was it me or did she like really overdo the Southern drawl? They told me to take a streetcar named Desire. You know, is it me? Because I was like, oh my God, you can cut that with a knife. You know?
I first of all, I always loved her, Gillian Anderson. I
Yeah,
always loved.
she's a wonderful actress.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Maybe she overdo it a little bit. Maybe it depends on the director.
Yeah, it was probably a directorial choice.
Yeah, but I think she was there. I could feel that she was there telling that story. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah. As far as the character, yes. It's just when she would speak, I was like, wow. It kind of reminded me of years ago, Stephanie Zimbalist was in Cleveland doing the Philadelphia story. And Stephanie Zimbalist is a good actress. I saw her in Night of the Iguana at Rubicon. She did it with her father, Ephraim Zimbalist, when he was 90. It was amazing.
mhm.
But here she's on stage doing the Katharine Hepburn role. Okay, yeah. So someone has their stamp on it. But you really stand there and go, oh, Dexter, I've treated you awfully. I'm like, yay. Really, I sat there and went, directorial choice, slap somebody because she's a better actress than that, you know? Mm, God, I don't know. Because the idea is granted people see things and like how you get into The King, they're gonna expect everybody to have a bald head in The King and I. But you know, most actors want to do something of their own and not just do what everyone has seen by the person that put their stamp on it.
That's right.
But some of these directors, I guess they just want you to do what everybody knows. You know, if you're going to do Katharine Hepburn, you got to sound like her. Not necessarily. If you're playing her, like when she did Tea at 5, then you have to do it because you're playing the person, not just the character that she played in a different production. Then you're going to sound like Katharine Hepburn because she's supposedly talking to you out of her house. And if you don't sound like her, people are going to go, this isn't Katharine Hepburn. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you see that TV series on FX, The Feud, about Bette Davis and John Crawford?
No, but I found some video on it on YouTube. I have to watch this. I heard so much about it.
I loved it, actually. And somebody told me that a lot of people, they would have kind of confused feelings about it. I just, you know, me personally, because I had to learn about these actresses when I came here. You know, I hadn't known anything before I came here to the United States. So, you know, when somebody, you know, when I started meeting people and some of my friends, you know, they told me, well, you know what, this is the list. You should know what American movie to see. So they gave me the long list. And I was a very good student, and I saw a lot of interesting movies. So I got the whole collection of Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. So I watched all those old movies. But I can tell that some of those movies, they were okay. Some of them were really great. And of course, I love Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Baby Jane.
It's just, I mean, it's so spooky. And
that scared the hell out of me when I was a kid.
I was just kind of stunned because I had seen already by that movie. I think I got
the one with Redgrave sisters.
That's right. But before that, I had seen already Bette Davis collection because I got 3 Bette Davis collections. But Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, that came with a 3rd collection. So when I saw Bette Davis and all those movies like Now Voyager, The Dark History, all those stuff, and she was great. Jezebel, and all of a sudden, and of course I saw Joan Crawford in all movies like The Grand Hotel, something else I don't remember all those.
Mildred Pierce,
right?
Yeah.
And I can tell that, I mean, they're totally different, and they're coming from different perspectives to acting. And then all of a sudden I can see, oh my God, the legends, the 2 legends in the movie, that was really spooky, and the whole story is spooky, you know.
Well, the one thing I remember hearing about was, do you remember the scene where Bette Davis drags Joan Crawford by the leg across the room?
Yes.
I read somewhere that Joan Crawford put weights on her arms and legs to make herself heavier for her to have to drag more across the room. Oh my God.
I don't think they used that idea. If that was a fact, I don't remember they used that in the movie, in that TV series.
Yeah.
No,
I heard it. I either heard it or read it, and I was like, "Oh my God! You know, you hate someone that much? Put it into your character. Don't you know? Don't. Yeah. Jeez." Although Blanche was not a character that ever hated Jane. Once she was, well, she did when she was a kid, because Jane got all the attention. But by the time they were older, Blanche was the nice one and Jane was the idiot, because she blamed herself for injuring Blanche when Blanche had actually set the whole thing up. Which is why the face got pretty at the end. when she was hearing the story, her face like got 10 years younger
Mhm.
because she realized she hadn't done it to her sister. I do remember that. But when you see this thing when you're 10, it scared the shit out of me. I didn't understand what the hell,
Mhm. Mhm.
because when you're little, you don't know all this stuff. Now I would watch it and go, damn, that's genius.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But when I was a kid, I remember the Sunday night ABC movie, and she's going, now please tell me because I really am too young to know. And I'm like, oh my God, get me out of here. I didn't know what it was. But we saw Fantastic Voyage when I was like 10.
Mhm.
Did you ever see that movie?
Fantastic Voyage with whom?
Raquel Welch was one of the big stars in it. It was about a scientist who had some kind of brain tumor. And what they did was they shrunk a team of doctors small enough to inject them into his bloodstream to try to work on it from inside his head.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it goes wrong. They have like 24 or 48 hours before that wears off, and so of course it goes wrong, and they go down the wrong stream, and the amoeba come after them. And there was this amoeba trying to eat Raquel Welch, and I'm like 12, or 10 or something. And that was scary. And the ending, eventually what happened was they finally get back up there. They've got like 5 minutes, and they get rid of most of it, and they take them out in a teardrop, put them on the floor, and they grow up.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a kid. I had nightmares on this movie for like 3 months after I saw that. Because, when you see the amoeba come off to the spaceship and then you see it devour it, it's like, when you're a kid, unless you're, on that whole thing and think it's fabulous, you think, oh, that scared me to death. It's probably online somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ray Milland might have been in it. I'm not sure, but I know Raquel Welch was in it. So they put her in one of those wetsuit things because she has the physique for that.
Mm-hmm.
She was famous for that before anything else.
So it's called Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah, Fantastic Voyage.
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
it's an interesting movie.
Is it black and white movie?
No, it's color.
Color?
Yeah.
From 1960s or so?
Let's see. That's a very good question. Let me see. Fantastic Voyage. See if it's on YouTube. FANTASTICVOYAGE. Oh, good. I can spell.
1966.
1960. Is the full movie on here? Oh, yeah. Well, you got to buy it off of YouTube. It's an hour and 40 minutes. Stephen Boyd, Donald Pleasance, and Raquel Welch. So it wasn't Ray Milland. It was Donald Pleasance. I think he's the guy that plays Dussel in the original Diary of Anne Frank, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Edmund O'Brien. You can probably rent it for like 5 cents, but there's got to be one somewhere that you can see for free. I don't know where, but it will scare the bejesus, or it scared the bejesus out of me because I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my folks thought I could do. The funny thing is, when The Exorcist came out and I wanted to see it, they said absolutely not. Then my sister went because she'd gone to see it at midnight. And they said to me, you're not going. I went, why? She said, Joyce came home and climbed in bed with us. You're not going to see my older sister. You're not going. She went at midnight. I ended up going with a group of kids to a matinee, and the audience was hilarious. She levitated. They laughed. It never bothered me. But these movies that aren't scary at all scared the bejesus out of me when I saw them. I don't know. Yeah, but it was kind of freaky when the amoeba, or the antibodies, whatever they are, when they think there's something in your system that shouldn't be there and they go kill it. They're killing them because they think that they shouldn't be in the body.
Mm-hmm.
It does have some pretty cool shots, though, of the body when they're going down certain things. I think you see the heart at one point, you see all the veins and the arteries, and that's kind of cool. But I just remember the amoeba coming after the ship and trying to eat Raquel Welch, and whoa, freaked me out. So 66, okay, if it was 66, I was 10. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
That I
great.
remember because when I saw the Monkees, which was my first concert, it was 1967, and I know I was 11.
Wow,
So that
it's
would make me
pretty,
10.
I'm just looking at the trailer. It's just like pretty great effects they used already then. I would
Yeah,
never
it's
know.
got some great effects.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, they shrink him down, they put him in a ship, and they inject him. I don't know where they, I think they injected into the jugular or something, but it went down instead of up. And they had to work their way back up the system. Because if it had gone right the first place, it would have had a week to work on the tumor, which was up in here somewhere. Instead, they went and had to come back up.
Was a pretty famous movie then?
Yeah, I don't know how much of a hit it was, but it played for a while. I haven't seen it in a long time. Now I want to watch it again. So now I got to find it. Let's see if I can find a Fantastic Voyage free download. Okay, Fantastic Voyage movie. Free online download. See if that comes up. Well, throwback trailer. Review discussion. Yeah, see, it comes up with the whole movie, but I think you have to, oh, do you have Amazon Prime?
Yes, I do.
You can watch it on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes up under Prime Video.
Really? No, it
Yeah.
came up as a rental.
On Prime Video?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, $3.99. Oh, you can watch the trailer on it.
Oh, well, that's what I was just watching.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 stars out of 5. Yeah, legendary science fiction adventure surgical task force is reduced to microbe size to perform a delicate operation inside the brain of a dying scientist. After the tiny crew have just begun their voyage, it becomes clear that there is a saboteur. Oh, that's right. One of them is on the, I don't remember who it is, but one of them is like against doing this. I think they want the guy dead because he was about to make a speech, I think, at some kind of big event, if I'm not mistaken, and they wanted to prevent that. It's been a long time since I've seen this. I'm amazed I remember as much as I do. But it is a good movie. And they're old enough that it shouldn't scare you to death like it did me.
No, nothing scares me. Actually, oh, by the way, you know what I started watching? Do you have Netflix?
Yes, I do.
I think it just came out. It's called Wretched.
Okay.
I watched the very first pilot. I couldn't stop myself. I started watching, the second, after another, the third one. It's great.
Wretched. Oh, Ratchet?
Ratchet.
About
Yes.
Nurse Ratchet? Yeah, I've seen previews on that.
Phenomenal.
Okay,
Phenomenal. And I don't remember what her name is who plays the character, but there is Judy Davis.
Oh, wow.
And Cynthia Nixon. And did you see that TV series, Assassination of Gianni Versace?
The who?
Gianni Versace.
Janet Versace?
Gianni Versace. The fashion.
The designer.
The designer, yeah. It's not documentary. It's a TV series.
Okay, this is Sarah Paulson, by the way, as Ratchet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think there was a movie, wasn't there? about Versace right after he died?
Mm, well, I don't know. There's so many of them, but the one I'm talking about, it's called Assassination. It's yeah, Assassination of Gianni Versace. It's a story, particular, mostly about the guy who killed him. Because
Oh,
they unfolding the whole story why he came to the point when he decided to kill Gianni Versace.
wow.
But they put in all these stories together, like a Gianni Versace story and what is his name, the one who killed him, and his story, and how they're colliding these two stories.
Huh, okay.
So, so the guy, so in that movie, an assassination of Gianni Versace, that guy, his father, the actor who played his father, is in this Wretched the Nurse. He plays the doctor of the psychiatrist, what is it, psychiatric clinic, the hospital,
Okay.
and he's great. He's phenomenal. I think he's kind of Asian, but
Okay.
I just like really fantastic.
Now this is pre Cuckoo's Nest, right? It's the same character. Because Nurse Ratched is the one that basically turns McMurphy into a vegetable. She doesn't do the operation, but she drives him crazy enough that they do it for her. You never saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
I did that, but that was a while ago. I don't remember how it's. I remember the native Indian, he leaves the clinic.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
then, what did he do to the who played Jack Nicholson?
Yeah,
think,
McMurphy.
yeah.
That's a lobotomy. Because he got nasty and tried to strangle her because of what she did to Billy Bibbit. She put him down after he said, no, I'm not ashamed. I slept with somebody, and got him angry enough that he killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he got mad enough that he tried to strangle her, and then they gave him a lobotomy and he turned into a vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
But this was after he convinced Chief Bromden that he didn't have to stay there, that he was strong enough to leave. And that's why Chief Bromden, I think it was Bromden, leaves at the end of the movie. Picked up that fountain or something and threw it through a window.
No, he got the sink.
Oh, the sink, yeah. And threw it through a window. Wow.
And I really like that he was so quiet. He didn't have any lines in that movie at all. Mm-hmm. He was quiet, as if like he really had some sort of a going on there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he was the normal guy, actually.
Yes, he was.
Fuck that shit.
It was, yeah. And, it's a funny thing that Michael Douglas directed that, because Kirk Douglas originated the McMurphy role on Broadway. That's his father.
Oh, it was a theater production first?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and wow. Kirk Douglas was the original McMurphy, and he wanted to do the movie. But by the time Michael Douglas got it and got the whole thing okayed, green lighted, he had to tell his father, "You're too old to play the role."
Uh-huh.
That would have pissed me off. I'm like, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. There's such a thing as hair dye. But, I mean, Nicholson did a wonderful job.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job. I actually loved it. And Danny DeVito I think Danny DeVito is in there, right?
Yeah, oh, that's right. He was in there. Yeah, that is a great little actor.
I always love him. He's phenomenal.
He played the guy on Taxi. I forget the character's name. He played him so well, I hated him. Because that guy was such an obnoxious little shit, The one on Taxi.
I don't remember. I remember the movie A Ruthless People.
Oh yeah. Him
with Bette Davis. No, not Bette Davis. Bette Midler. Yes.
Yeah. He plays these little obnoxious shits. He makes you think of God. He must be like that. No, I've seen him in interviews. He doesn't come off that way. And he and Rhea Perlman are married in real life. That just, wow. That blows my mind. Because the two of them, they don't seem like they would have been, I don't know. They just didn't seem like they'd be the ones ending up with each other. But they've been with each other for years. So, never know.
Yeah. And then he played in the movie Batman Returns. He played the
Yeah, he was
Penguin.
Penguin. And
That
then he
was
was twins.
yeah, and twins. That is a cute movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's twin. Right. It was funny.
Oh, there was another kind of a sequel they did together, but they played different characters. There was another movie right after that. They played. I
Was he
don't.
in Junior?
Yes,
That,
Schwarzenegger got pregnant.
yeah, Schwarzenegger. But was DeVito in it? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I did see that movie. And I remember watching going, this is really strange. But they did that before. They did it with Billy Crystal. It was called Rabbit Test.
Hmm.
Yeah,
He's
it
great.
was funny.
So, do you want to do it one more time?
Sure. Yeah, it's still just that one line. So what is it? You think maybe it's not going to happen. You think maybe you'll find some way out, some word that's still, oh, all right. Some word that will make it all different. That's the one line. Okay. He's resting.
He'll be all right.
How about you?
Better every minute.
Oh, you could fool me. Okay. Okay, I'm going. You sure he's all right?
Of course, he's all right. It's just this dying business, Beverly. It gets a little messy every now and then.
I noticed.
Did you? Brian takes such pride in putting things in order, keeping things in their proper perspective. It's hard to tell. I mean, give him 10 minutes and a few thousand words, and he'll make you think dying is the best thing that ever happened to him. Would you like a drink?
No, thank you.
It's all worse for Brian. And it's a little hard to keep up. One letter follows the next, one paragraph, one chapter, one book after another, close parenthesis, end of quote. Never mind what it is all about,
That's not fair.
isn't it? The way you two have been carrying on, I was beginning to think I was at a wedding. I mean, I enjoy a good joke as much as the next fellow, but dead people are pretty low on my list of funny topics.
Oh, no, let's not get angry. We'll spoil your metaphor.
Oh, fuck, fuck my metaphor. It's true. My God, listen to me. You think you know something. You think you have something. And it all goes crazy. When I met Brian, I was hustling outside of the bar at San Francisco, right after the great Summer of Love. You remember the Summer of Love, one of those many American revolutions that get about as far as Time magazine, and then far too quick finish. Well, just after the Summer of Love, winter came, which was the last thing anybody expected. And suddenly I got very cold. People were starving to death in that street.
Oh, sounds lovely.
Very colorful. Who would have liked it? Anyway, like everybody else, I was very hungry, very desperate. The whole scene. So there, I was one night, like many other nights, selling it down on Market Street. I wasn't very good at it, but it was paying the rent. And Brian walks up to me. I didn't know him, of course. He looks up and asks me the time, right? Well, I did my little number about time for what and how much was it worth to him. I figured anybody who'd come on to me with an old line old line like that was good for a fast 20. And all of a sudden, he starts explaining exactly what time was worth to me. 10. Philosophy. On Market Street. Cyclical linear configurations, Hebraic and Greco-Roman attitudes, repetitive notions, time warps, even. Jesus, I thought I got a real freak on my hands.
You did.
And he's talking and talking and talking, and I'm thinking, I've got to score soon because it's getting late and I need the bread and I'm hungry. But I can get rid of him. I walk away and he walks away with me. I go inside the bar and he goes inside the bar. A real fuck bar. I figured this has got to shake him, right? Nothing. Nothing. He didn't even notice it. People are humping on the tables practically on his quote, and Aristotle to me, and Whitehead and the Liberating and St. Thomas Aquinas' definition of sin. Completely oblivious to everything around him. I thought I was losing my mind. Finally, I said, look, man, I haven't eaten in a long time, and I'm getting a headache. Why don't we talk some business before I start? Why don't we talk some business before I starve to death?
What did he do?
He bought me a dinner. I couldn't believe it. I mean, what the hell did he want from me? And he never stopped talking. Never.
Perfect. And then he left.
Right.
He didn't want anything from you.
But before he went, I lifted his wallet.
I always warned him not to talk to strangers.
It doesn't matter. Because the next day I returned it. I don't know why. I just did. And that's how I got to know him. Got interested in what he was doing. Which as it turns out was nothing. But he was doing it so well. He gave me a room. I could use it when I could use it whenever I wanted. I started reading again. I thought to myself, my God, I could really do something. Salvation. We talked and talked endlessly. Word equals idea, equals action, equals change, equals time, equals freedom, equals, well, who knows? But the point is, I don't know what the point is. What am I talking about?
Dead people.
Exactly. Dead people. I mean, exactly.
Exactly what?
I mean, it's not enough. 10,000 pages of paragraph garbage. It's just words. We're dying here, lady. That's what it's all about. Brian looks at me and I can see it in his eyes. One stone slap smack in the face. The rock is coming out from under. The light is going out. You can do the pills and the syringes and the let's play games with the cotton swabs and x-ray, but it's not going to change. You can wipe up the mucus and the blood and the piss and the excrement. You can burn the sheets and boil his clothes, but it's still there. You can smell it on him. You can smell it on me. It soaks into your hands when you touch him. It gets into your blood. It's stuck inside him, filling up inside the head, inside his skin, inside his mouth. You can taste it on him. You can swallow it and feel it and feel it inside your belly like a sewer. You wake up at night and you shake and you spit. You try to vomit it out of you, but you can't. It doesn't go away. It stays inside you, inside every word, every touch, every move, every day, every night. It lies down with you and gets in between you. It's sick and putrid and soft and rotten, and it is killing me.
Well, it's killing him too.
That's right, lady. And some of us have to watch it. Some of us have to live with it and clean up after it. I mean, you can waltz in and out of here like a fucking Christmas tree if you want to, but some of us are staying. Some of us are here for the duration, and it is not easy.
And some of us wouldn't mind changing places with you at all.
And some of us just don't care anymore.
What?
Some of us just don't care.
You're cute, Mark. Next to me, you are the most selfish son of a bitch I have ever.
Oh, wonderful. That's what I needed. Yes, that's just what I needed.
You're welcome.
Look, don't you think it's time for you to pick up all your little screwing trophies and went home?
No, it's past time. It's way past time. The sign goes up, I can see useless printed all over it. Let me tell you something as one whore to another. What you do with your ass is your business. You can drag it through every gutter from here to Morocco. You can trade it, sell it, give it away. You can run it up a flagpole, paint it blue, cut it off if you feel like it. I don't care. I'll even show you the best way to do it, because that's the kind of person I am. But Brian is different, because Brian is stupid, because Brian is blind, because Brian doesn't know where you come from, or who you come from, or why, or how, or even what you are coming to, because Brian happens to need you. And if that is not enough for you, then you get yourself out of his life fast. You take your delicate sensibilities and your fears and your disgust, if that's what you feel, and you pack it up and you get out.
That's simple.
Yeah, that's simple. A postcard for Christmas, a telegram for his birthday, maybe a phone call every few years if he lives. But only when it gets really bad. When the money and the time and the people are all running out faster than you care to count. And the reasons don't sound as good as they used to, and you can't remember anymore why you walked out on the one person who said yes. You do what you have to because I love you. And you can't remember anymore what it was you thought you had to do, or who the hell you thought you were that was so goddamn important you couldn't hang around long enough to say goodbye. Or to find out what it was you were saying goodbye to. Then you phone. Because you need to know that somewhere, for no good reason, there is one poor, stupid, deluded human being who smells and rots and dies. And still believes in you. One human being who cares. God, why isn't that ever enough?
You want an answer to that?
No. No, I want you to get yourself together or get yourself away from him.
Just leave.
Yes.
I can't.
Why not?
He's dying.
He doesn't need you for that. He's a big boy. He can do it all by himself. You're young, intelligent, you're not bad looking. You're probably a good trade on the slow market. Why hang around?
I can't leave him.
Why not?
I owe him.
What, pity?
No.
I mean, you don't make sense, Mark. What's in this for you?
Nothing is it for me.
Oh, you said it yourself. He's just a tired, sick old man.
I didn't say that.
A tired old trick with some phony ideas that don't hold piss, let alone water.
What?
A broken down sewer.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Garbage. Well, you don't need that. You don't need to dirty your hands with that kind of rotten putrid filth. Plus, of course, you need the money. But what does he do? Pay you by the month, or does it depend on how much you put out?
I want him to die. I don't want him to die, please. I don't want him to die.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Shh. Hopes, baby. That's what you got. Bad case of the hopes. They sneaked up on you when you weren't looking. You know, you think maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe you'll find some word, some way out, something that'll make it all go away. Maybe. Please, baby. Just one favor you owe him. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him with your hope. He needs somebody. Yeah. That was my answer too. Bye, baby.
Wait,
No, 2 more minutes. I'll be dancing you all over the floor.
I might not mind.
Might not mind. You'd love it.
All right. I love it.
Tell Brian goodbye for me.
Don't you want to see him?
No, I got a plane to catch. I want to get to Hawaii before the hangover hits me. You know, it's funny. He always makes the same mistake. He always cares about the wrong people. Bye.
That felt good.
Yeah.
By the way, you know what? I just realized something. When you have that long monologue, there is a line which actually made sense to me why she came to see Brian.
What is it?
Then you phone because you need to know what somewhere for no good reason there is one poor, stupid, deluded human being who smells and rots and dies and still believes in you. You came to him because he believed in you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
And
that's the whole thing?
Yes.
So it's not so much to come in because I want to make sure you're there for the right reasons.
Yes.
And then that's like the last chance that she's going to have to see the guy that gave a shit. Okay. I think that's what I initially thought about a long time ago. But all right. That makes a lot of sense now.
Because it seems like it comes from her. Obviously, because she's kind of telling the whole story. Underneath of all this monologue, there is a story of her feelings toward Brian in a way, or whatever that happened in the past. There's some sort of a hint in there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She's not indicating the names or whatever, but she's telling her own story. And I like
that's
that.
all about her.
You know, like the deluded who smells and believes in you.
Mm-hmm.
She might have mentioned herself.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why then you phone, because you need to know somewhere someone believes in you. You know.
And she knows that. And she knows that.
Yeah.
And she knows that. That's why she came.
Because it's probably her last shot to talk to that person. Yeah. Okay.
And that, you know, and that's why when you have your long monologue and really and actually, didn't you notice yourself when you were coming to the end of that monologue, when you're talking about when and still believes in you, you were in the verge of breaking down.
Yeah, I choked up. I don't usually do that.
That was really powerful.
Thank you.
I'm going to send this video to you. You're going to see it yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't usually. I've always kind of wondered why all of a sudden in the middle of this huge rant about what the hell are you staying for, she suddenly comes out with this whole paragraph about herself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not exactly sure where it comes from, because before she says all that, she's still saying, why hang around? You're young, you're intelligent, you're not bad looking. Oh no, wait, that's after, isn't it? She's still talking about, where am I? Only when it gets really bad. Yeah, she's still telling him, yeah, it's that simple. Just leave. A postcard for Christmas, telegram for his birthday, phone call every few years if he lives. And then all of a sudden, here's this litany that comes out about herself. And I'm never quite sure where that comes from, unless she just doesn't know what else she can say to him.
No, she came up with that at the moment because she didn't expect when he said that some of us doesn't care, and that's why. Well, that was, look, don't you think it's time for you to pick up all your little screwing trophies and went home? That was kind of the last straw, which actually, you got to pull yourself together already. But I think it was coming up already just right before these lines when he said that, some of us don't care. And I think there is a connection. I was just thinking about, compared to my experiences. When you do care, you care about people who really needs you.
Okay.
If it makes sense, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like knowing my friends who doesn't live here, but mostly of them live back in Russia. So I do care about them. And I call them and I talk to them and I keep in touch with them for 25 years. So not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah, I do that.
I know they need me. They're very happy to talk to me for hours. That would be the very first sign to me that people want to talk to me hours. Seriously. It's not just like a chit chat. No, it's hour-long conversation, like 2 or 3 hours. And I sometimes think, what am I doing? Why did I call this person? I need to do this job or this or that. And no, it's important for me because I care about them, even though in the distance. So I kind of feel about there is a connection that she does care very much because she knows that he needs her anyway, even though it was in the past.
Mm-hmm. Well, she wouldn't have come back if she didn't.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that Will did say, who played Mark, he said underlying all of it is the love that both of them have for Brian in the other room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. You had your own love for him, because your love out of that he needs you or he needed you at some point. And I think he was very happy to see you when you came and you had a talk and everything. And my love to him was out of owning him. It's totally different perspective, how you look at love in general,
And I think too, with her, he's always there, whether or not he's on the same continent.
Mm-hmm.
He's there, and now he's not going to be. And with you, is this like the first person that you really gave a shit about, you think?
You mean Mark?
Yeah.
That's a good question. They've been together 10 years or so, apparently. But I still feel like, Mark had been confused about this relationship. He doesn't, something that what you told him, you told me, pull yourself together.
Yeah.
it's kind of, there was a revelation to me, some sort of a telling me that that's kind of what, that's what love is, when people need you, you know.
Well, it really works for me as well. I'm telling you all this. You've got an expression. It's like the most of you is really still and very like blank, but the eyes are like, blazing. And I'm watching this person who's like watching me, but I'm not sure he's even hearing what I'm saying. And that helps me get really pissed.
You know what? I was thinking about that, because if it was stage, right? I feel like she really came on him, just like nose to nose talking to that. She's delivering that monologue as if like when you really want to deliver your message, you really want it very close to this person. Like,
Was I close to the screen? I didn't even notice. I was just looking at you.
I felt the energy. I definitely felt that energy because it was really drilling, even through the screen. But it feels like, I felt that you were coming on me, just like, like as if like you're trying to grab me, listen to me. That's what it felt like.
Okay. That'd be cool. It felt really good.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
since he's internalized this, and there's a whole hell of a lot of anger that comes up when I'm doing that. A lot of stuff, a lot of different situations. One situation I've been in for eons, and it just is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's my bad luck in the world. I've always said for years, when people say, "But aren't you married? Don't you have children?" I'm like, no. I think I have a sign on my forehead that says only married and gay need apply. Because that's the only thing that gravitates,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and you sit there and you're like, me, and the whole thing yourself with the why did you walk out on the one person that said, yes, you do what you have to because I love you? And I'm thinking half the time, it's like, yeah, why aren't you listening? Stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
But when she says, he always cares about the wrong people. Is it because people that can't give him what he needs, or is it because they don't care? Because I don't think it's that neither of them don't care.
I think that his philosophy is just to give himself away in a way that he's really giving, but he doesn't need to take back.
Okay.
So that's what he needs you. That he's got so much to share that with you,
Mm-hmm.
and he wouldn't even care who is next to you, who is next to him.
Mm-hmm.
I actually sometimes I can be that person too. I know what it is. But I had to train myself how to have particular boundaries, not to spoil people. And I thought about, why did I do that? Because I know why. Because I would be reprimanded for the fact that my mom would do that always to me. I've done so many things to you, and you just not grateful. And I felt like there was some sort of a guilt instilled in me, like blaming me. And I was trying to, at some point I realized that maybe like 10 years ago, I would do that the same thing. I would give myself up to everyone. I would be very giving, but just for what? To be approved, And then when I realized that, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Because you're hurting yourself technically. Actually, when you're hurting yourself, other people would feel that eventually. So yeah, it's very. I think that's what Brian was. I think he was very giving, and he needed somebody to give himself, to share his energy, his knowledge, his feelings in a way. now it's just his monologue is coming back to me when he's saying, Jesus, everything began from the jacket, it's because he makes a point about himself. Actually, that's his philosophy, and that's what he's talking about himself. He is free of idea of taking back. He's just giving himself out. That's,
Okay. As she does say, don't hurt him with your hope. He needs somebody. And then the idea is, Mark just pulls away and she goes, yeah, that was my answer too. Because she pulled away, she ran away.
mm-hmm.
When he, what is she, there's a statement he makes when he's talking to the interviewer that she says something about dancing. Where is it? Da, da, da. Here we go. She says, oh, here. My former wife once said to me, we've done enough thinking. Couldn't we just dance for a few years? And the interviewer said, did you? No, I have lousy feet. Instead, I started going on about music and mathematics and the difference between Apollonian airs and Dionysian rites, explaining to her the history of dance and the struggle with form. And before I finished the first paragraph, she was gone like a bat out of hell.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that's always interested me. Why does he do that? Someone asks a simple question and he's going to give you a litany of history the world long, whatever it is.
Apparently, he never knew how to have fun.
Or have a normal conversation, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question, yeah. Maybe he doesn't know how to have fun.
He's, how can I call him? Like a bookworm, like a nerd in a way, that a box of knowledges. Apparently he never had any chance, or he never was brought up an idea how to enjoy his life. It's all about, knowing things, sharing things. It's actually could be sometimes annoying. Like sometimes I really want to have a person let's just talk about nothing. I met some people like that. It's just like, oh Jesus. From the very moment I'm thinking, how can I find a way to get out? Because I don't really want to hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and most of the part, and that's what I used to do. Like, oh my God, this is annoying. But I would give myself up to this person, to the person who would be very annoying, and I was hurting myself because it was just so boring, So, and then I realized that no, I have to just find a way. Just next time, let's talk about next time. Let's not now or something.
Well, that's sort of what he does when he walks away. I walk away, he walks away with me. I go inside the bar. He goes inside the bar. It's a real fuck bar. I figured this would shake him, right? Nothing.
He doesn't really need that. He's not really interested in that.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're down on, what we have here, it's called 40th and Prospect. If you're down in Hooker Alley, you really want to hear about, Aristotle and Whitehead and Thomas Aquinas? They wouldn't even know who those people were if they bit them in the butt.
That's just like, are you... What are we doing here? The people are humping here around you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and that you even say that. You're like, I'm getting it. It's getting late. I'm getting a headache. We can talk some business. We're going to starve to death. Mm-hmm. What do you do with someone? Then he buys you dinner. Wow, what do you do with someone like that? It's so freaky.
It is. Sometimes it is freaky. I wouldn't say freaky very much, but I can tell you this. The first time when I met John, I because you know one, uh, we met on Manhunt.
On a manhunt?
Manhunt, yeah, Manhunt. And it was just one night stand, but it was quite interesting because I had never experienced that a person would start talking about musicals and theater. I was just like, this is so fascinating. It was just he was just there. There was no pretentiousness or something. It's just like I felt like connection, but it was just me at the moment because I felt so insecure about myself. So I really wanted to get away.
Oh my God.
And then 2 years later, we hooked up again.
The parallels with you two in this show, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And I knew nothing about that when John started telling me about you're both married to women. And then I'm like, oh, whoa, wait, what? I had no idea. And now you're telling me you met the same way they met.
In a way, yes.
So wild.
Well, that's why I always say this is so interesting. This is so quite interesting. I mean, well, first of all, I'll tell you this. I started acting like 10, maybe 12 years ago. I had never done any acting back in my country at all. Maybe I did drag, but that was just for fun. I mean, it was kind of a school of acting, but I didn't take it seriously. I always wanted to perform, but when I came here, I started acting here. So I never acted in my language, ever.
Never in Russian?
No.
Wow.
So, so I'm kind of a little bit stuck language-wise, but I wouldn't say so. I'm getting much more comfortable with English.
Well, I have a problem with when you talk at all. I understand everything.
Well, I hope so. Sometimes I can just stumble over words, but the accent is always there, but I don't care. as long as the people can understand me, that's the very important thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Occasionally, the only thing I notice sometimes is that the accents might not be in the same places, but the words are understandable.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
What am I talking about? So what I've noticed that any kind of experience I ever had in my life, subconsciously, I was thinking I would love to do some sort of a story that has a reflection of my life. And it's always been that way. I mean, maybe I wouldn't act that very much, but it would come in a very mysterious way. So I would manifest my talent through the opportunities that has a chance to tell not just the story of the play, but my own story underneath, you know. So that what makes much more powerful, I think. And actually, I do you remember the movie Tootsie?
Which movie?
Tootsie.
Yes. Yeah, with Dustin Hoffman.
Yes, and that was at the very beginning of the movie when all those the titles coming up, right?
Yeah.
It's just like an introduction, I would say. One of the little scenes when he was given all this, he was given an acting workshop or something, and he said that never play a character which doesn't live in you, or something like that.
Okay.
And I remember, yeah, that was what I'm doing, because the very first time when I saw this movie, it was back in my country, and it was translated, of course. It wasn't, so I translate the Russian version into English. I don't remember what was the original Russian expression, English expression, how he put it correctly. So, but the idea that is that never take a part which is not related to you. Always play a part which is related to you. That would be a powerful. And I heard that phrase, I think back in 1980s, when I saw that movie first time. I think the first time I saw that movie back in 1987, I think. And somehow that phrase got stuck with me. So, and it's kind of it's a part of my philosophy. You know, you can do whatever. I mean, like you can be a talented and versatile actor, but the most powerful thing that if you have a part that is related personally to you in a way, because you have an opportunity really to reveal yourself, your talent. You know.
Don't you usually get attracted to parts that speak to that, to you, as to what you can relate to
Where in this play?
in theater? At least the ones you choose to do monologues from and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I found. When they say pick a monologue, look through a lot of things and see one you like. You know, or someone writes one, or if you write one.
Mhm.
But then Bill says, don't do the original stuff. Pick the masters.
Mhm. Why don't we what is it tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow I cannot do it. We just John is texting me because we need to have a dinner. I'm hungry and he's hungry
Oh
too.
God, you haven't eaten either? Okay.
No. So I think we can just leave it the way it is now at this point, and maybe not tomorrow, maybe on Friday. Friday somebody's I'm helping to move.
Okay.
So maybe Saturday. We'll see how it goes.
Saturday? Sure.
I'll let you know. I'll text you because I'm not sure how time it will be.
Okay.
Available time.
Yeah, and
Alright.
send me this thing because I want to take a look at what we did.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Not right away, but maybe a little bit later, in a couple of hours.
Okay.
All right.
That'd be great.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. Good work, I think. Right.
You too.
Yeah.
Really.
Great. All right. So in a couple of days, I think we'll see.
Okay.
Great. All right. I'll go. Have a good night.
Right. Bon appetit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.